Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Welcome back. It's good to see you. Angie B is here to moderate for me. Thank you. Good to see you, Marcy. Hey, Nick. Nick, drive safe on your way home. Hey, Miss Jamie. Hey, Proud Mimi. Ski Utah. Hi, Dave. Oh, Dave Schweitzberg. You're waiting for the read of the broken plea. I know we've got to do that. I need to get that on the schedule. Hello, Valerie. What's happening in Cape Coral? It's hot as hell. Hey, Hexy. Thanks for being here, guys. Hey, Beans. What's up, Eclectic? Hey, Ostrich. Thanks for coming in. So I have something that's a little different to talk about today. Something I was a little surprised to see yesterday. And the fact of the matter is, don't anyone get mad, okay? Because I'm not saying that these situations are identical, because this is kind of a touchy subject. Hey, Pretty Hate. Hey, Cardinal. Hey, Danish. Debbie Smurf. Hey, Paul. Mama Bear, you made it. Thank you, guys. Hit the like button on your way in. Hey, Allie. Schweitzberg. Because I'm German, maybe I know how to say it good. Hey, after all, Dave, my former maiden name is Stadelbauer. So, hey, Brandywine, come on in, guys. Get comfy. We're going to have a little history lesson in the music industry. So how many of you, well, first of all, I have a vote up. Is Florida repeating history? If you haven't heard about this, let me know. It looks like most of you have not. What's up, Sal Capano in the house? Good to see you, Sal. Hey, Carrie. So don't anyone get mad at me, because I'm not saying that these situations are identical. But Kanye West and the 2 Live Crew now have some matching history. They're not identical, but both raise questions about free speech, public backlash, and whether controversial artists should be able to perform. So, hey, Ballet Flats. Fra, Jay. What's fra? So back in 2022, let's break down what Kanye said before we get into it. Hey, Shortcake. Hey, Mesra. Kanye back in 2022, who now goes by Ye, he started making comments about Jewish people, and it sparked like a lot of controversy. I've talked about the 2 Live Crew before, yes. Hey, Evelyn. You found wait, Beans, a funny related clip? Yes, send it to my email. Higgsy, what's up? Here's my email, Beans. What's up, AJ? Thanks for coming in. So back in 2022, he made some not so, savory remarks. One of the biggest moments was when he posted about the music industry and like basically the entertainment industry being owned by Jewish people. And a lot of people interpreted that as threatening, anti-Semitic. And he also posted that he was going to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. He continued making statements and interviews suggesting Jewish people controlled the media, entertainment, the banking, and other industries. Those ideas weren't new, but they're stereotypical in conspiracy theories that have been around for a very long time. But things escalated further when he appeared on Alex Jones's show and made comments about Hitler and Nazis. But not only that, hey, Lindsay, I just went live. Hey, Keezy. He has definitely apologized. Yes, AJ. Yes, he has. So then he wrote a song where he compared him being publicly ousted to being a Nazi. Okay, basically that was the comparison he used. I can't explain it. I can't justify it. I'm just telling you what happened. So he eventually has apologized. He took out ads. He went and met with Jewish leaders. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So the consequences for him were huge, though. Adidas dropped him. Gap dropped him. Balenciaga dropped him. His talent agency dropped him. He lost business deals worth hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. But here's the important thing. No one arrested Kanye. No one charged Kanye with a crime. His consequences came mostly from like private companies deciding that they didn't want to be associated with him any longer. Now, here's where things get kind of interesting, right? I found this press conference yesterday with all these senators calling for him. He has a concert scheduled here in St. Pete next week. And yesterday morning, all these senators lined up to call out the private owner of the venue and say, nope, we don't want his show here. This is not what we're looking to promote in Florida. Hey, Steven. Good to see you guys. Loxy, Whistledown, Brantley. Welcome in, you guys. So I was like, whoa, what is this? And it didn't have very many views. So I'm like, a lot of people probably don't even know they're trying to do this because this is just in my little area of Florida, right? Thank you, Sal. Oh my gosh, Sal with his first super chat to the channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Florida did this to Jim Morrison too back in the day. Yes, they did. You're so right. I forgot about that. Okay, so now here's where things get interesting. If we go back to the late 80s, early 90s, there was another artist causing outrage. Actually, not an artist, a whole rap group, the 2 Live Crew. The 2 Live Crew was a Miami-based rap group led by Uncle Luke. None other than Uncle Luke. Their album, As Nasty as They Want to Be, was incredibly controversial because of its explicit sexual lyrics. We've watched Geraldo Rivera have them on the show and stuff. Parents hated it, politicians hated it, law enforcement hated it, and eventually a federal judge ruled the album legally obscene. Hey, Crimes. Yes, so Kanye can no longer go to the UK. He's been banned. Florida sometimes tries to be their own country, good and bad. Yeah, same with Texas. Calco. You met Uncle Luke. Nice. So did Donald Trump. Hey, Pines. We did. So think about that for a second, though. Not offensive, not controversial, illegal. So once the album was declared obscene, the stores could be prosecuted for selling it. And in the Kanye situation, we actually had a DJ play his song, Hail Hitler, at a club in Miami, and he got in big trouble for that. So it's kind of same. The members of the 2 Live Crew were actually arrested after performing songs from the album. And this is before social media, right? So it wasn't social media outrage like Kanye. And it wasn't their sponsors pulling their support. This was law enforcement and actual criminal prosecutions. So a federal judge looked at the lyrics and basically said this album crosses the line into legally being obscene. But then appeals came out and overturned that ruling. The appellate court found that the government had failed to prove the album lacked serious value. So the government was trying to say their music has no value. Their music has no value. But the government couldn't prove that they could ban music simply because it offended people. But I've got a video for you of March 11th, 1990. Hey, Linda. So here is a video. Broward County Sheriff Nick Navarro tried to prevent the sale of 2 Live Crew records on March 11th, 1990.
The rap group 2 Live Crew's album, As Nasty as They Want to Be, is too nasty for anybody in Broward County to listen to.
The language was totally outrageous and totally obscene.
The Broward Sheriff's Office asked a circuit judge.
Look at his shirt, guys. I cannot. This is the sheriff.
To rule on the lyrics of Me So Horny and some of the other songs on the Miami band's latest album. Judge Mel Grossman says there is probable cause that the lyrics violate community obscenity standards.
What we're going to request for them to do is to take them off the shelves. If they persist in selling it, we will be arresting them.
And Broward County Sheriff Nick Navarro says you can even get in trouble for selling the nasty version to somebody who's over 18.
As soon as they decided they didn't want to carry the dirty versions, we had to send them all back to the warehouse, and I don't know what they did with them.
We pulled them off the shelves last week and stopped selling them. We do still carry the clean version.
Each room has a bed and also a sink so you can wash your body so it won't stink.
That's a sample of the cleaner version of the album, and record stores say it's selling briskly thanks to all the publicity.
We sell rap tapes from a lot of different artists, and I would say 9 out of 10 of them have explicit lyrics. They're being singled out very unfairly.
A spokesperson for Luke Skywalker, 2 Live Crew's Miami-based recording company, says nobody ever had a problem with rap until white kids started buying it. If you can buy an adult book, an adult video, or go to an adult movie, why can't you buy an adult record?
What do you think of that statement? No one has ever had a problem with rap until white kids started buying it. Oh, ouch. Probably true, though.
Video, or go.
I remember having my NWA tape, and I went to my friend's house, and her mother literally came in the room and took it out of the tape player and took my tape, and I was pissed.
Go to an adult movie. Why can't you buy an adult record? In Fort Lauderdale, Janelle Stelson, Channel 10, Eyewitness News.
Isn't that wild? Okay, so here is another one I'm going to let you guys watch. This is a raw interview with Luke. And I have not seen this before, but this comes from C-SPAN. And this is about them using, okay, so part of this was they used the part of the song Oh Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison and William Dees. And they were sued in court for copyright as well, okay? The court ruled in favor of 2 Live Crew to use the sample. So they won that one, but he talks about the ban and everything in this interview, and I'm going to play this right meow. Hold on. There might be an ad.
I'm a retired.
Oh, there is. Hey, Travis. They said he was a thug and not good for anyone to listen to. EPMD, I remember them. Okay, here we go. Whoops. Fuck, what'd I do? Oh my gosh. We're going to have to wait again. Oh yeah, my brother had tons of 8 tracks. If you guys haven't hit the like button, hit it now. Here we go.
And now a House Judiciary Subcommittee hearing on the possibility of adding justices to the U.S. Supreme Court.
That's not it.
Amid political divisions over the court's slate of decisions.
The fuck?
This is 2 hours, 15 minutes.
That's not what the fuck I was listening to. Hold on. My bad. I don't know what just happened. All right, here we go.
Luke Records may help you. Next on American...
Dude, this is literally Luke Records. Okay, hold on. I'm going to make this big screen. Hold on. This is actually the office of Luke Records back in the day. Okay, here we go.
In the courts, C-SPAN takes a look at the U.S. Supreme Court case Campbell versus Acuff Rose Music Incorporated. This case involves the rap group 2 Live Crew and their music company, Luke Records, which recorded and sold a parody of the song Oh Pretty Woman, co-written by Roy Orbison and William Dees. Acuff Rose, which owns the rights to Oh Pretty Woman, sued 2 Live Crew and Luke Records in U.S. District Court for violating their copyright. The court ruled in favor of 2 Live Crew, but the decision was reversed by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit. Luther Campbell and other members of 2 Live Crew appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court. The case will be heard by the High Court on Tuesday, November 9th. C-SPAN traveled to South Florida to interview Luther Campbell and Fresh Kid Ice, members of 2 Live Crew. In looking at this case, C-SPAN also brings you interviews with William Dees, co-author of...
Look at his look at his studio, Luke Records Entertainment Center. Is that not funny? Hey, Denise, welcome in. We're talking about Kanye being banned in Florida like the 2 Live Crew.
Of Oh Pretty Woman and others interested in the case's outcome. But first, we bring you an interview with Luther Campbell of 2 Live Crew from his Luke Records office in Liberty City, Florida.
Luther Campbell, president of Luke Records and member of the group 2 Live Crew. How did it come about that you're party to a case before the Supreme Court?
I really don't know. It's the weirdest thing ever, ever happened to rap music, I think. And it's just, I guess, the backflash of all the big problems that we had when we had the Nasty As They Want to Be, album out. Everybody started buying it, started getting into homes where people wouldn't normally buy rap music, and a lot of those right-wing organizations start picking the album apart. And what happened is they heard Pretty Woman on there and called up Acuff Rose and Incorporated, and then they started to suing. They didn't probably feel that, this rap group that at the time was creating all this controversy should be singing one of their records. So I think that's basically, where it all started at.
Why'd you decide to...
So they thought that he should be singing, not rapping.
To
back
parody
then.
that song?
He decided that. Yeah, well, we just, the song was a popular song, right? And I think at the time, Weird Al Yankovic was at his peak, doing all the Michael Jackson Beat It records and all that, and it was just something that we wanted to do. I mean, it was, yeah, we just wanted to have fun with the record, and before you know it, we did it. We didn't do it to have any intentions of ruining their copyright. That's the reason why you don't see it on the As Nasty As They Want to Be album. It's only on As Clean As They Want to Be album, and that's the most important thing that's in this case, because they're saying that we tried to ruin their copyright, and we're saying just because we're 2 Live Crew, and we do adult virgin records and clean records, we had no intentions of doing that.
Can you play a little bit of both the original version and then also your version?
Let's do Roy first.
Yeah, let's do
Roy
it.
First.
Let's do Roy.
Let's do Roy. Don't wake up, Roy. I guess that's not the right one. Where is it? Pretty Woman. Whoever queued this up didn't do a great job.
Why don't we play your version?
I got Roy coming up.
Oh, there we go.
That's loud enough for you? You need a bass? You need a bass?
I hear yours.
Want to hear our version? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, coming in from stage right. Yeah, I think ours better too.
Stage right.
1993, 1989 version. We had to freshen it up, you know. Street version. This is the street version. See, Roy was the conservative, you know, upper class version. Now we finna play the hood version. Liberty City version. See, that's the difference. That's the big deal there. You know, this is, people in the streets can relate to this. So that you gotta keep an open mind when you listen. Here we go.
Stop it. Cause you look like Cousin It. Stop it. Stop it. Hey, Becky. Look at his face. Oh, it's the fucking best. Hey, Sparks.
Is this the first song you've parodied, or have you done others?
Which? We did Do Why Did It.
I remember
we did,
that one.
Band in the USA, Born in the USA, Band in the USA.
And
we had no problems from nobody else.
Do you think there's something unique about the rap genre that is the reason?
Well, like I say, you know, at the time when we were on trial and the whole world thought we were going to lose in the First Amendment case, everybody started coming out of the woodworks. I mean, you know, Acuff Rose came out and Lucasfilms came out. You know, we were getting sued from every which way is possible. So, you know, we went and we dealt with all the cases, and when we did win the case, the First Amendment case, this was like the last thing that was left on the table, and everybody else backed up, you know, because they, you know, felt like we had great lawyers that we did. They didn't want to fight anymore.
If you lose this case, what effect is that going to have, both on you as for Two Live Crew, but also for the other artists that you're involved with?
As far as the company, I don't think it'll have any effect on, you know, the company. As far as Two Live Crew, I don't think it'll have any effect on us, because we, you know, if it's that we don't have to do parodies. I mean, you know, like the parodies that we did was not like the biggest records. None of them, you know, probably Band in the USA was the only one that was released as a single. You know, this was never released as, was it released as? No. You know, these are like records that we do to keep the groove going on in the album. I mean, you know, it wouldn't hurt us. I mean, because we're known for records like Me So Horny and Throw the D and Hey, we want some, you know, that's what we're known for. We're not, yeah. Oh my God. We're not known for parodies. It's just something that we do to fill up the albums.
Since this case has come up, have you heard from others who do parodies a lot?
Yeah, I mean, the briefs, if you know the briefs that's been filed, I mean, Living Color, you know, Saturday Night Live, all these different organizations have, you know, filed briefs on our behalf. I mean, it would be like, you know, it would be the saddest thing ever happened, because if we were to lose this case, I mean, nobody can imitate the president anymore. You know, Weird Al Yankovic, he couldn't do what he does anymore. Alkovich? I mean, Saturday Night Live will be off the air, no more.
Wait, I think his name's Weird Al Yankovic, but listen what he says.
Like, you know, it would be the saddest thing ever happened, because if we were to lose this case, I mean, nobody can imitate the president anymore. You know, Weird Al Yankovic, he couldn't do what he does anymore.
He said Weird Al Yankovic. It's so
I
fucking
mean,
funny.
Saturday Night Live will be off the air, no more.
The whole entertainment.
Yeah, you wouldn't be you wouldn't be able to do it. All the joke shows that go on will be eliminated because everybody's just be getting sued out of the woodworks.
Which we saw some shit with Jimmy Kimmel, right? Oh my gosh, I know, Cal Tato. But remember, we saw that with Jimmy Kimmel when he was making fun of Trump. They were like, Trump and Melania were calling for him to be canceled in 2026.
When this first started, did you ever dream that it would go before the Supreme Court, and how's it feel?
You ever thought it was gonna happen?
We're just making records to have fun.
Yeah, I mean that was big.
He's like, you ever thought this was gonna happen? Dude, he hasn't changed a bit. He has the YouTube channel. He's live all the time. He has not changed a bit.
How's it feel?
You ever thought it was gonna happen?
We're just making records to have fun.
Yeah, I mean that was basically it. We just made records to have fun, just like you said. I mean, we never thought we would even be involved in a First Amendment case, and now here we're involved in another First Amendment case. I mean, it's in a sense, it's okay, because it brings awareness to a lot of, people that's in our industry, especially black rap groups, and the kids can be aware that, we still have a lot of challenges that we have to challenge people on our style and our race and what we do in our community and what others do in their community. I mean, we have to keep that's always on trial. I mean, our music is always on trial, when it just brings awareness to kids that, hey, this is out there. This is actually out there, and we have to fight regardless of what year it is. We still have to fight, and you just can't sleep on it.
Tell me what's happened in defending yourself. Has it been expensive?
He's live now.
It's cost a lot of money. I mean, made a lot of lawyers wealthy, has cost a lot of money, a lot of nonsense, where we could have saved the money and invested in some other things. It has cost us a lot of money. But majority of the cases we won, so, what we did is got the good old taxpayers' money out of different communities. They actually end up paying for it, because if we win the case, then, our taxes go toward paying for my lawyers. So it don't benefit nobody.
Do you think, will the decision affect either way what you do in the future?
I don't think it will, because 2 Live Crew will be 2 Live Crew.
Yeah, no, it won't affect anything. If we lose, we won't do it anymore. We won't do any more parodies. If we win, we continue doing parodies. I'm real positive that.
Parodies? Why does that make me crack up? Yes, he is always live. He's great. I've been trying to get his attention in chat for like over a year. So I had to go and dig out C-SPAN interviews because I can't get his attention.
We're going to win, It's the First Amendment. I mean, you just can't, it's the First Amendment. You just can't run over that. And I mean, parodies are protected by the First Amendment. It's plain and simple, regardless of who may do it. We're a black company. I'm a black individual. He's a black individual. We're a black rap group. I mean, Weird Al Yankovic is a white guy. Living Color, all these programs, Saturday Night Live. I mean, we should be able to do it just as well as they're able to do it.
Have you been parodied?
I think we have.
On Saturday Night.
Saturday Night Live, Living Color, Saturday Night Live, Living Color. What else? Who else? A couple of other ones. They get Chris Rock and he does me and make jokes of me. I think of it as, I'd be impressed. I'm impressed when people do me. Do us, period.
It's funny, too.
I mean, God did an HBO special and did him. I mean, we all found it to be funny.
Are you going to be there in Washington when the arguments are made?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you doing anything to prepare yourself? Will you be talking to the press, or are you going to...
Well, we just go with the flow, that's all, hopefully they'll let us get up and sing the record before the Supreme Court, and that'd be what's happening. Then we could bring the girls, and they'll be dancing. And then we can see, what my man name?
What?
Clarence. See what Clarence do.
Oh my God.
They're working out Clarence. They really don't put that on the TV.
How closely have you worked with your attorney on what they're going to say? Do you know what he's going to say? Do you feel comfortable with it?
I can't tell you all that. You know, we got our case and we're going to present it. I mean, you know, it's going to be basically presented, you know, just as if, you know, it's a First Amendment case. You know, we had our share of First Amendment cases, so that's basically how it's going to be presented, as far as I know. But don't believe what I say, especially if you're the opposition, because we have like real clever lawyers. You know, Bruce Rogo is like the Perry Mason of Florida, so don't tell him what direction.
The Perry Mason of Florida. Stop it.
He might go in.
Do you have any advice for other artists who might find themselves in similar situations?
Well, my advice is to, you know, hey, if you feel like you're right, you know, just do what you feel is right. You know, if you feel like you're doing something wrong, then don't do it. You know, but right is right, you know, wrong is wrong. We're going to pave the way for everybody else, like we always do. Go into court and fight everybody, and everybody else can start doing more parodies.
Luther Campbell, president of Luke Records and member of 2 Live Crew, thanks very much.
No problem.
Wait, it's not over yet. Oh my goodness. Okay, so thank you for subscribing, Rasha. Oh my goodness, is that funny? Okay, so the next clip, let's see where we are. Okay, so let's compare the two now, since we've watched that, right? Kanye, his comments centered around anti-Semitic. 2 Live Crew, sexually explicit. Kanye got canceled from the private companies. 2 Live Crew actually went to court. They were actually arrested. And they fought over these battles, whether their music could actually exist in the marketplace. Kanye just got canceled, right? So what concerns you more? The government deciding what music people can hear, or private companies deciding who gets a platform? Right? So the next clip is going to be, dude, I have a Larry King with Luke as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to watch what happened yesterday down here in Florida. This is the press conference that I stumbled upon yesterday on Fox 13 Orlando. This is the former...
It's inconceivable that we actually have to have an event like this to ask people that are elected.
Okay, hold on. This is the former governor, Rick Scott. He's now a senator for Florida. And he's got the former district attorney or state's attorney, Ashley Moody, with him. I guess so, crimes. All right, let's listen to what they said about Kanye, okay?
It's inconceivable that we actually have to have an event like this to ask people that are elected and appointed to actually do the right thing. So, but I'm blessed that there's so many people up here that want to stand together on a bike.
So my question is, okay, Kanye's concert is next week. The tickets went on sale in January, okay? Why are they waiting until a week before to shame everybody who got tickets to this concert? There's never been a riot at Kanye's concerts. There's never been any kind of anything. Oh, AJ, I think they're mad that Kanye backed away from Trump.
Bipartisan manner to ask people just do the right thing. This is so simple. Okay? We should never allow anti-Semitism anywhere, and we have to stand up against it, and we all do. it can't happen anywhere. So let me just recognize some people, and then we'll go through. We have a variety of speakers. The first I want to recognize is the new senator.
He did, Wise
He always
Angel.
tells everybody she's the junior senator because she's so much younger than me. I used to be junior to Marco Rubio. I guess he was older than me. But Senator Ashley Moody, she's been there a year and a half and has done a great job representing y'all. She shows up every day and she works her butt off to do the right thing. Next, Leo Terrell. And let me make sure I get Leo's his name.
And I want to make notice, too, that this now only has 2.8K views. Yesterday, it had like 400. That's it. That's it. And it says live, Florida leaders, Jewish community speak out on Yee concerts.
Name right. Leo, I called Leo and asked him to come here. He's the senior counsel to the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights Division at the Department of Justice. And Leo has been, for the last year and a half, has been holding our universities and others accountable for the allowance of anti-Semitism on these college and university campuses. And he has been an unbelievable fighter against any hatred and division. So, Leo, I just want to thank you very much for being here. Next, somebody that I've actually known for I knew this individual back when I was in the hospital business, which was now 29 years ago. And it's former governor, former attorney general, former a lot.
Here she comes.
Charlie Crist. Thank you for being here.
Oh, Charlie Crist, another former governor. Charlie Crispy. That's what I called him. Charlie Crist.
Thank you for being here.
Look at him. Stay out of the sun, Charlie. Stay out of the sun.
I want to thank Eric Stillman, the CEO of the Holocaust Museum. Thank you for having us here.
So you're going to see them bring a Holocaust survivor's grandson out. They have the Holocaust Museum, like, administrator there.
What I'd ask everybody, everybody should come. I've got a lot of grandkids, so I'm trying to figure out the right age to bring them, but I think everybody ought to come to our this Holocaust Museum and Holocaust Museum. Jackie Zeckmans, who's here, who lives in Tampa, who works with me, we are both on the National Holocaust Museum Council, and people need to go to these museums and never forget that this happened.
No one forgets.
You can never forget that this happened. Ann and I took our daughters to Birkenau and Auschwitz when they were teenagers. I do not want anybody in my family. I texted my grandsons today what I was doing.
See, this is too political for me. No one has fucking forgotten. No one has forgotten, but we got all these political people standing up and, bringing them into this. It's crazy. It's crazy for an agenda.
Because I don't want anybody my family members ever to forget what actually happened. 6 million Jews were killed just for being Jews. And unfortunately, it just happened October 7th, a couple years ago. So next, Joe Probasco, Tampa JCC. Thank you for being here. Maxine Kaufman, yep. Maxine Kaufman, JFC, GC. Commissioner Chris Bowles is here.
Listen to how many?
Pastor Scott Thomas is here.
A pastor?
We've got Tony Rindy, Holocaust survivor, and her son. And we don't have, unfortunately, we don't. There's not a lot of Holocaust survivors left. I mean, and one thing the National Holocaust Museum Council.
There's not a lot of Holocaust survivors left, but we got one to come to this press conference to speak out against Kanye West.
Has done, and many of our museums around the country, they've done holograms, so you can. It's like almost you're talking to these individuals, and they can tell you their story, what happened, and it's devastating. Shep Biglinger with the Sarasota.
They have holograms of the survivors telling their stories. Are you serious? Who's Nick Fuentes? I don't even know who that is.
JCC is here. State Rep Karen Gonzalez Pittman's here. And State Rep Michael Owens here. Somebody I had the opportunity to work with when I was governor, who was in the legislature, Commissioner Kathleen Peters is here. Commissioner Brian Scott. And Commissioner Chris Latvala, who I think got to the legislature just when I was leaving, or right in the last couple of years. Commissioner Vince Nowicki is here. Councilmember Cohen Givens is here. Michael Eagles here from Holocaust Museum. And Commissioner Tal Siddiq. So.
I mean, this is a lot of people.
So, again, thanks everybody for being here today. And I think with all the individuals here, I believe this shows the Tampa Bay Sports Authority they need to make the right decision. I'm glad to be joined by so many elected officials, community leaders, and friends for one simple reason. Florida should never fund anti-Semitism. What's great is that everyone up here comes from different parts of the political spectrum, but despite our vast differences, we can stand united today. We stand united against giving anti-Semitism any platform in Tampa Bay or in Florida. I want to thank Ashley Moody again for being here. I want to thank Brian Taub for bringing this concern to my attention and Jackie's attention and asking me to be vocal. I don't know where Brian is, but he was over here. Thank you, Brian. This is the way
Is this not weird?
This is the way it's supposed to work. All of us get elected up here, okay, and we're supposed to go do things like this. We're supposed to show up and actually, this is representing government. This is not something that should be out of the ordinary. We all should be doing this.
Okay.
I'm so glad that Charlie Crist is here. So everybody's probably surprised. I think the last time we were on stage together is we had a debate back in. We've seen each other in D.C. a few times, but the last time we were on stage together, I think debates we had in 2014. So we're here together, standing together because this is bigger than politics. Kanye West has been an outspoken anti-Semite and has even called himself a Nazi. That's not something we support in Florida, and it's certainly not something worthy of supporting by our tax dollars. Raymond James Stadium is a...
What if Kanye, I mean, let's just play devil's advocate. He totally apologized. He met with Jewish leaders and apologized. I don't know why they're so hell-bent on... I'm telling you. It's because he's black. I that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I know, Senator Scott, I can't. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. What if Kanye was using those things as metaphors? You know what I mean? No, I get what you're saying. I didn't know who that guy was. Yeah, where's that energy? It's totally because he's black. Kanye is problematic because of all the things he said. I think he's problematic to the white man because he's a powerful black man with a voice and money. I don't know. But let's just say he used those things as metaphors to compare and use in his art, right? Like, aren't musicians artists? I don't know. What do you guys think of that?
A publicly funded venue. Taxpayers should have a say in what happens. It's actually their money. That's something that elected officials need to remember every time. It's somebody else's money. When you tax somebody, you're taking their wealth and the value they created, and doing so with the full power and threat of the law. That creates responsibility. Wherever that money goes, whatever we do with it, we as public officials are responsible, full stop. There's no, if you have a public venue, you don't get to go say, oh, I got to let everybody there. You do not. There's no law that says that. You don't have to let people that hate Jews show up.
Oh my God, he doesn't hate Jews. He doesn't. He said some stupid shit. But I don't believe that he hates Jewish people.
Now, we're blessed in Florida. We have a large Jewish population, especially here, a lot in Palm Beach, a lot in Miami, and especially here in Tampa. So why on earth would we use tax dollars to fund someone who has called himself a Nazi and praised Adolf Hitler? We shouldn't. Look behind me. Look at the boxcar. It's over here. Look at the boxcar. Look at the train tracks. People were there's quite a few movies about the Holocaust. I just saw one about the Belsky brothers went to the forest. But and then the first two that got out, it was a separate movie. But you just think, how could anybody do this to another human being? But people were crammed in the car worse than cattle on their way to death camps. Many suffocated in boxcars like these before they even made it.
See, we don't need to be reminded of all these emotional, this is not needed. He's talking about people suffering and suffocating in boxcars. This is a little over the top.
Those who did faced a hell beyond human comprehension. And think about this. These were little kids, too.
Flo.
Like we all love our children.
Oh, we had to bring kids into it, too. These are little kids, too. What's up, Flo?
And think about this. These were little kids, too. Like we all love our children. It all started with questions like the one before us today. Are we going to tolerate this? No, we're not going to tolerate this. Are we going to support it? Absolutely not. We are not going to support it. People say, oh, it's just a concert. Oh,
I'm not downplaying it. I've read his apologies. I've seen what he's done after. That's all, Andrea. And I said I was playing devil's advocate. That's what playing devil's advocate is. is talking about the other side. No one's downplaying anything. Kanye lost billions of dollars. I think he's already felt the effects hit his pocketbook, being canceled from numerous companies.
The Tampa Bay Sports Authority is going to make some money. Let people have their fun. Some of the worst sins in human history begin with the words, I was just. I was just going to a concert with my friends. I was just trying to make money. I was just following orders. No, you can't do that. You're not let off the hook. None of us should be let off the hook for hatred and anti-Semitism. C.S. Lewis said, the safest road to hell is the gradual one. The gentle steps, soft underfoot, without sudden turnings, without milestones, without signposts. He's right. One study found that anti-Semitism increased 900% over the last decade. And I think, Leo, you can talk about some of that stuff that you've seen. We've seen October 7th. We saw the college campus takeovers. By the way, my wife and I, we got to go with AIPAC to Israel 2019, and we went to Kfar Aza, which is a half a mile from Gaza, and I went back after October 7th. You just can't imagine that anybody could do what they did. We've seen the college campus takeovers. We've seen attacks at synagogues and Jewish community centers across Florida. We've seen the targeted murders of Jews in our nation's capital. Think about that. We saw in our capital, 2 people that worked at the Israeli embassy just walked out and were killed just because they were Jews. How do you think it all happened? People make excuses. Oh, it's not my problem. Oh, I don't know them. Blah blah blah. People find excuses to look the other way, to stay silent, to go along and get along. You can't. None of us can. Nobody can. If you care about your children and your family, you can never let this. But you have to care more than your family. You have to care for all families. Anti-Semitism is growing all over the world. So we all have to speak up. I've heard plenty of excuses for this concert. I've also heard that it's okay because Kanye has apologized for his past statements. None of them justify holding this event at a public venue.
So he's not even, he acknowledges the apology.
And giving Kanye West the Florida's taxpayer seal of approval. When they do this, it's the Florida taxpayer seal of approval. It's not just Tampa Bay, it's the state we're allowing it. There's countries all over the world that have banned him, and we're going to allow him to come to our state and our city?
Really? We're not other countries, right? The other countries don't have the First Amendment like we do.
That's BS. In fact, at any point over the past week, here's what, a lot of us have been vocal. Has Kanye done anything about it? Has he come say, I want to take a tour of the Holocaust Museum? Has he come and said, I apologize? Has he
Really? Wait, what?
Over the past week, here's what, a lot of us have been vocal. Has Kanye done anything about it? Has he come say, I want to take a tour of the Holocaust Museum? Has he come and said, I apologize? Has he hold a press conference and said, I was completely wrong?
He took out, let's see what Kanye did. Let's see. How did Kanye apologize to the Jewish people? Let's see what he did. Oh, a full page ad. Let's see. He posted a statement in Hebrew on Instagram apologizing for any unintended outbursts caused by his words or actions. He stated it was not his intention to hurt or disrespect and expressed a commitment to promoting unity. In November 2025, he met with Kabbalist Rabbi Yashiyahu Yosef Pinto in New York City to apologize and take accountability. He attributed his past actions to untreated bipolar disorder. In January 2026, he took out a full-page advertisement in the Wall Street Journal titled, "To Those I've Hurt." In the 750-word statement, he explicitly stated, quote, "I am not a Nazi or an anti-Semite," and apologized for his previous behavior, again attributing it to a manic episode and undiagnosed brain injury. Jewish advocacy groups, including the Anti-Defamation League, have generally acknowledged the apologies, but noted that his long history of anti-Semitic behavior requires sustained positive action. So that's what he's done. So, all right, let's go back.
No, he hasn't. If we don't stand up and vote,
and he really has, because you're lying right now. He did. Over
the past week, here's what, a lot of us have been vocal. Has Kanye done anything about it? Has he come say, I want to take a tour of the Holocaust Museum? Has he come and said, I apologize? Has he held a press conference and said, I was completely wrong? No, he hasn't. If we don't stand up and vocally reject the hate that Kanye West pushes, if we don't stop this concert, we're telling everyone that anti-Semitism is okay.
No, we're not.
No, it's not okay. As long as
He says if we don't stop this concert, we're telling everybody that anti-Semitism is okay.
Make some money. And somebody said that to me, if they cancel, they'll lose money. So what? You made a bad decision, fix your bad decision. This puts an even greater target on our Jewish community, more than anything Kanye West could say or do himself. If they allow this, then what's the next event? And if they're not held accountable, if you're Jewish in this city, in this state, how do you feel?
He was held accountable. He did take accountability, which is a lot more than some people do.
You feel like a second-class citizen, that people don't give a damn.
Wow.
We have a clear moral duty to reject hate at every level. As leaders, we should do everything in our power to keep public money and resources out of this kind of event. And it's exactly why we're here today, condemning Kanye and demanding this concert be canceled.
Kanye?
I want to close with this.
He called him Kanye. What?
Event. And it's exactly why we're here today, condemning Kanye and demanding this concert be canceled. I want to close with this. Holocaust denial is at an all-time high. I think, Brian, were you telling me that, or somebody was telling me as I was walking by, that 20% of kids under 25 don't believe it happened? I mean, that's what, I think, Evan, you asked me that question, right? So, first of all, we all have to teach everybody. That's what this does. So, we have people in both parties spouting off, and this is what's disgusting. We have people running for office, or in office in both parties, spouting off anti-Semitic statements. We have a Democrat Nazi sympathizer running in Maine. We have a Republican running for governor in Florida saying the same bad stuff. It's happening all too often. And first off, I'm not Jewish, but if I was Jewish, it was scary. But if I'm not Jewish, I'm still scary because it starts with the Jews. It ends with they're attacking Judeo-Christian values. They're just going to start with Jews.
Oh, my God.
So this stuff makes me mad that this goes on. Anyway, let me close. This has to be canceled, and now let me introduce my good friend who's working a butt off for you, Senator Ashley Moody.
She used to be the state's attorney for Florida, Ashley Moody.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Senator Scott, for rallying everyone together.
I don't know.
Today.
I guess maybe I'd like to ask the government why we brought over Nazis to help us with NASA. But that was okay, right? It was okay to use Nazis for a purpose, to get ahead. I don't get it. I don't get it. Has the government ever apologized to the Jewish people for using Nazis in NASA because they wanted to beat Russia to the moon? Have they ever apologized for that? I'm just curious.
So important that you pointed out that none of us are standing up here as Republicans or Democrats or independents. You have a swath of people, a large number of people that are united by a cause, and that is to come together and ensure that we have government that is accountable to its tax-paying citizens, and that when government makes bad decisions, they need to step up and explain it and make it right. And that's why you have all kinds of people here today, not just elected folks standing behind this podium, but all kinds of community members, because we just represent them. We are your avatars. There is no other place I would be this morning than right here. The Tampa Sports Authority receives taxpayer dollars. I hail from the Tampa Bay area. I was born and raised. My family goes back here 5 generations. The only people, it is not just the Jewish Americans in this community that should be upset. It is every taxpayer.
These nuts.
I'm not upset. I say the people bought tickets, let them go.
The Tampa Sports Authority evaluates, approves, and here my last word, prioritizes the events that it books. Evaluates, approves, and prioritizes. And when you have a taxpayer-funded body that is prioritizing hate and anti-Semitism, they have a lot of explaining to do.
I mean, she gets worked. Girl, listen, her voice starts fucking shaking, and she gets very upset.
And I imagine everybody that demanded answers, lots of people standing up here and all of you that were demanding answers when they said, tell us how this happened. How in the world could this happen? We're just over 2 years from October 7th. We saw a surge in attacks against Jewish Americans, from murders to assaults right here in Florida. We have universities under investigation right now regarding their environments and the hostile environments. You can't, the first piece of legislation I had to introduce was to reclaim federal money from universities that wouldn't protect Jewish students. And now we're going to invite and book and prioritize someone who not 10 years ago, not 20 years, not sometime in their life said that he was a Nazi. As recent as last year, in the middle of these attacks on Jewish Americans, in the middle of a time when students are afraid to wear symbols of their Jewish faith because they are afraid they will be harassed, attacked, or ostracized, in which we have repeated incidents that is happening right now, we're going to prioritize the booking of that artist right now. And let me just say, last year, again, not 20 years ago, not 10 years ago, last year, West says, I love Hitler, I am a Nazi. Last year, he promoted an album which featured songs like, reportedly, Heil Hitler and Gas Chambers. He also attempted to run a Super Bowl ad redirecting users to a website selling swastika t-shirts. Last year. And in the middle of a time when we are doing everything we can, proposing bills, as Attorney General, I had to train law enforcement. I had to train university police. I had to train prosecutors on what elements of a crime were to stop some of these people.
She is
in
way
Florida,
performative.
at a time when we saw things nationwide. And while we do things right here and we are proactive in Florida, we're not immune. We're not immune. We just do things differently. We step up and call things out when they're not right. We take proactive steps. We get things done to protect our citizens. And let me just say, I was most excited to be here this morning, Senator Scott, and stand by you and all of these great leaders, because there's no bigger champion, defender, fierce advocate of free speech than I am. As Attorney General, as a judge, as a federal prosecutor, as a lawyer, my career has been fighting for the freedoms our founding fathers established this nation on. And when the Tampa Sports Authority came back to the concerns that were raised in the midst of this hostile climate, in the midst of attacks against Jewish Americans, when they came back, when the concerns were raised and said, it's free speech and it's contractual obligations and that's it, not, this is how this was evaluated, approved, and prioritized and where it went off the rails. This is what we've done to investigate how this happened. This is what we've done to hold that person accountable. This is what we're doing to make it right. No.
So they want to hold Kanye accountable by banning him from performing in Florida. This is crazy. Why don't they protest? Exactly, Emmy Jo.
They hid behind free speech and contractual obligation.
How do you hide behind free speech?
The citizens of Tampa Bay, the taxpayers of Tampa Bay deserve so much better. And I am so glad to stand here with Senator Scott and all of you to demand that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Moody. Now we're going to hear from Leo Terrell.
Here we go.
Last Friday, when it was about 10:30 in my office in the morning, and I get a phone call from Senator Scott and said, could I show up today? And the answer was simply yes. I went directly to my bosses, Stanley Woodard and Todd Blanche, told them what the situation was, and they said yes. And I can simply tell you from the words that Senator Scott said and echoed by Senator Moody. Look at everyone here. Fighting anti-Semitism is not a Jewish issue. By the way, I'm not Jewish. Anti-Semitism is not an American issue. It's a Western civilization issue. Look at this group here. We have a fundamental obligation to fight anti-Semitism.
Do you think it's by design that they got a black guy to come up and speak about this?
And I can tell you what Senator Scott said. Set aside the political differences, because it's an issue of right versus wrong. And it is wrong for Kanye West to use a public facility as a platform, knowing his hatred towards Jews. It is wrong, and that's why we are here today. Regardless of what you think of him, and people come up to me and say, Leo, you're doing a great job fighting anti-Semitism. And I say I can do a lot more. But everyone here needs to know this. Forget about your differences with the guy in the White House. Forget about whether or not you disagree with him on other issues. I can simply say this without any hesitation. On the issue of anti-Semitism, he is the greatest president ever fighting anti-Semitism. And that is why I'm here today.
Wait, who is? Donald Trump? Is that what he said?
Everyone here needs to know this. Forget about your differences with the guy in the White House. Forget about whether or not you disagree with him on other issues.
What?
I can simply say this without any hesitation. On the issue of anti-Semitism, he is the greatest president ever fighting anti-Semitism.
Oh my God. Come on. What?
Fucking fuzzy slippers and lip gloss.
What?
And that is why I'm here today. The creation of the task force to fight anti-Semitism. That was from President Trump, Todd Blanche, Stanley Woodard. I'm going on a 15-city tour across this country on this same subject, among using public facilities.
He's going on a 15-city tour? What? Wait, what is Kanye's tour? Hold on. Hold the phone. Is he going to try to do this in every city? Let's see what his tour dates are. Okay, so we've got Tampa, June 26th and 28th. He's got 2 shows here. July 4th, San Antonio, Texas. July 11th, he's in Albania. July 30th, he's in Spain. August 7th, he's in Portugal. And then September 3rd and 4th, he's in Chicago. Huh. Okay.
Let me tell you, on this same subject, among using public facilities, let me tell you 3 of the topics we're talking about. Because we're doing a lot on the federal level. But anti-Semitism is a local level issue. For example, look at what's going on in cities, I don't want to mention those cities, where there has been no prosecution of hate crimes. When Jewish Americans are walking down the street to their synagogue being attacked. I don't want to embarrass any cities. Los Angeles, Boston, New York, Chicago. Look at teachers' unions, public teachers' unions, where they're now incorporating anti-Semitic rhetoric in K-12. They've already hijacked the colleges. Now they're going after K-12. Don't want to mention any cities. Los Angeles, Boston, Chicago, New York. And then finally, one of the reasons why we're going on this 15-city tour is this Jewish tax. What's the Jewish tax? That's the thousands of dollars Jewish Americans have to pay to go to their synagogue, to have Jewish activities for extra security.
Why is this seem like fake outrage, dude? Like, what the fuck? What does this have to do with Kanye West? Tax what?
That must stop. So let me close by saying to Senator Scott, Senator Moody, and to everyone in here, I'll never say no to you. My job in Washington is to fight anti-Semitism 24/7. That's all I do. I will never, ever say no in the fight. And one last thing. I know the history of the Jewish American community. They have helped so many other groups. They helped create the NAACP, 1909. Let me give you a little, I was a history teacher before I became a lawyer. 1964, 2 Jewish activists, Werner and Goodman, were in Meridian, Mississippi in 1964. They lost their lives, along with a black man named Goodman, fighting for civil rights for black Americans. We're all in on fighting anti-Semitism. God bless America, and God bless you. Thank you.
Now the former governor of Florida, Charlie Crist.
Lance. America.
Good morning. It is a privilege to be with you, Senator, and Senator Moody as well. Commissioners, others, all of you.
Crispy.
Senator family, well represented. I'm here because Senator Scott called me the other day. And he said, we're doing this press conference. I think it's important. I hope that you can make it. And I said, I don't know what my schedule is Monday, but whatever it is, I'm going to make it. It's important to be here. You know, I happen to be a Democrat, but I am an American first.
God.
And a proud Floridian also. And proud to be from St. Petersburg. Welcome to my hometown of St. Petersburg, Florida.
Ugh.
It's a good place with good people.
Yes, it
doing
is.
the right thing.
Yes, they are.
And people may say, well, you know, you're with Senator Moody, Senator Scott. They're Republicans. You're a Democrat. You know, is this somehow right versus left?
No one cares.
Absolutely not. This is right versus wrong. And my friend Rick is right. We need to call it out. We need to show up. We need to stand up and be there. To stand up for what is right. what is fundamentally true and what we know is evil and wrong. Holocaust was horrible, unimaginable, as you said, Senator Scott, truly unimaginable. I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be with my friend. I'm proud to be with you. God bless you all.
Thanks for taking the call and coming. This, it just really makes you mad this stuff's going on. But Charlie, I want to thank you for coming. Leo, and I want to thank you for coming all the way from D.C. Now we're going to hear from Eric Stillman, the CEO of the Florida Holocaust Museum.
Because this is necessary.
Thank you, Senator Scott, Senator Moody, Special Counsel Terrell, former Governor Christ. As President and CEO of the Florida Holocaust Museum, it is a distinct honor to host you all here today. We are standing in a place built to share the history of lives lost and survivor legacies, which are true stories from the horrors of the Holocaust and of the people who chose to make a difference in one of the darkest periods in human history. In large part, we can share this history because of the generosity of many of you, the remarkable support of the state of Florida, and the leadership voices of Senator Scott and Senator Moody. For those reasons and many others, we feel one of the most important roles that we can fill during this difficult time is to share our museum with as many people as possible. We do so by offering free admission to the community on June 26, 27, and 28.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So they're offering free admission when Kanye's concert is going on. What? What the heck?
Our role today as your host is to make a space and a place for this conversation, and it is our honor to do so. As we stand between the boxcar and Thor, the Danish rescue boat, we are reminded of both sides of this history, the darkness of hatred, murder, and grief, and the light of hope from those who refuse to stand idly by. Our placement of this podium is not by accident. Each speaker today is that light of hope, refusing to stand idly by in a moment that desperately seeks leadership. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Eric. Now we're going to hear from Joe Probasco, past president, Tampa JCC.
Thank you, Senator Scott, Senator Moody, all of our elected officials today. I can't tell you how much it means to our community that you've chosen now to stand with us in such tumultuous times. Let me be direct. Our preference is that this show not come to Tampa. We understand that's not our decision to make, but we are asking the Tampa Sports Authority to take a hard look at how it makes these decisions. This is not a First Amendment issue. Every Jewish organization I know of has acknowledged this artist's right to perform. What troubles us is the timing and the tone deafness of the moment we're in. 2025 was the deadliest year for Jews living outside Israel since 1994, but with an important difference. That year's toll came from a single catastrophic attack. Today's numbers reflect something more alarming. Violence has become frequent, widespread, and normalized. We're not living in the aftermath of one tragedy. We're living in a threat environment with no modern parallel. And into that environment, TSA chose to book someone who didn't just make an offhand comment. He built a brand around anti-Semitic rhetoric and arguably helped fuel the climate we're now living in. He has apologized, but apology alone is not the same as demonstrated change, and we're not there yet. So the question isn't whether TSA can bring him here. The question is whether now was the right time to book him, and whether waiting for real sustained change would have been the better choice for this community. I would ask people to consider this. Jewish institutions across this country spent more than $765 million on security last year. Our own organization will spend over $1 million to keep our community safe. 20 years ago, security was barely a budget line item. The fact that security has become one of our largest expenses says everything about how dramatically the threat environment has changed. Protecting its citizens is a basic function of government, not a burden that communities should have to fund themselves. So when institutions like TSA that rely on public support give a platform to voices that contribute to that threat, we are right to ask, is there a price on our security? Thank you.
Now we're going to, as you get older, you have to use glasses if there's not enough light, by the way. Maxine Kaufman, Jewish
Really?
Federation of Florida's Gulf Coast. All right, we've got Commissioner Chris Bowles.
Commissioner.
Thank you all for coming, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here to speak to you about this incredibly important subject. You know, I think I stand here, and one of the things that I share with everybody, I think what's important for us all to kind of come away from this is that we have community values, and those community values raise and lift up our people, not bring them down. But to that point, you know, I agree with our leaders' concerns and positions here. As elected officials, we must uphold our community's values, and those values that do not include dignifying hate speech in publicly funded spaces, such as the TSA in Raymond J. Stadium. I believe firmly in free speech and holding to the principles of our Constitution. But free speech does not entitle anyone to a stage backed by public resources and funding. Say what you will, but we need not glorify hate speech in songs, as Senator Moody pointed out, while someone actually profits from it. I stand fully with our Jewish community here in Tampa Bay, and will ensure that I will do the best that I can to ensure that those concerns are heard and addressed here. And I truly appreciate the opportunity to make that statement. Thank you.
Now we've got Pastor Scott Thomas, Free Life Church.
I'm honored to be here with all of our representatives. Thank you, Senator. Thank you so very much, Senator Moody. Thank you all. I have the honor of being here and speaking on behalf of more than 11 million Christians across America with Christians United for Israel. When I heard of the news as to what the TSA was bringing into Tampa, my first thought was this: Kanye West would probably be platformed as the opening act for the Third Reich if it was 1938. And the fact that we are standing here today.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Look at her face. What are they up to? What are they up to?
Tampa, my first thought was this: Kanye West would probably be platformed as the opening act for the Third Reich if it was 1938. And the fact that we are standing here today still having to fight and to push back on the tone deafness of those who should be supporting our community, as opposed to bringing in this voice and this violence and throwing it in the face of more than 700,000 Jews in our state. It is unconscionable. The fact that today this kind of rhetoric is going on and be desensitizing and normalizing this conversation, not just in the community that we're standing in today, but with our young people that are being indoctrinated by the spew that is coming out of his mouth. It needs to stand. We need to stand up and say no. It's been stated that it's silence is what actually, it was the words. Words is what started the Holocaust. But it was silence that allowed it to succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2026. There's no more silence. Not on our watch, not again. Thank you very much.
Now we're going to hear from Michael Eagle.
Oh my God, I was muted. So sorry. This is the survivor and her son.
I'm here with my aunt and uncle, Tony and John Rindy, both Holocaust survivors.
Oh, aunt and uncle. Sorry, they're his aunt and uncle. But wait till you hear what this lady says. She was so told what to say and she screwed it up.
We first met when you visited here as a sitting governor, and you've only tightened your friendship with me and with our museum. I thank you very much. And thank you to all of you for your leadership and for your wisdom and for your courage today. Anti-Semitism must be confronted without hesitation, even in its most subtle forms. But when it takes a stage in front of thousands, I feel a greater obligation to speak out, loudly, clearly, and publicly. Before I ever chaired a Wiesel Council here or the statewide Commissioner's Holocaust Education Task Force, I was a grandson and nephew of Holocaust survivors. I grew up listening to stories that shaped my understanding of the worst.
I wonder how he feels about Project Paperclip. You know? Huh.
And the best of what human beings are capable of. Stories of how bigotry takes root when it's advanced by some, looked past by others, and met only too rarely with defiant fortitude. All of this is part of why I speak today. The primary concern here is not just one artist. We already know what he has said and what he's done. The questions that stay with me are about what happens next. So to those who bought tickets to these shows, I want to speak to you directly and with respect. I believe that buying a ticket does not automatically mean you agree with anti-Semitism. I know many of you are simply looking forward to a night of music with your friends.
Oh, well, thank you for letting us know that. Thank you for letting us know that. I believe that buying a ticket does not mean you agree with anti-Semitism. Well, thank you for the grace. I mean, Kanye is more than those comments. You know what I mean? Like, they act like that's all he's done. Like, he's been making music for decades. It's crazy.
Speak to you directly and with respect. I believe that buying a ticket does not automatically mean you agree with anti-Semitism. I know many of you are simply looking forward to a night of music with your friends. Loving an artist's creativity doesn't make you an anti-Semite, but I ask you, I implore you to consider the unique power that you hold in this moment. And to the wider community, non-Jewish and Jewish, in Tampa Bay and beyond, who aren't going to the concert but are watching this unfold. Our task is to show what a resilient and inclusive community looks like. We counter division by showing up for one another. I ask you to make sure the story written about Tampa Bay this month isn't about the bigotry that visited us, but it's about the community that stood firmly and together against it.
The bigotry that visited us. So Kanye's a bigot? This is crazy.
History shows that societies are shaped partly by the actions of extremists, but they're also shaped by the choices of ordinary people as they determine what deserves their attention and their engagement. Anti-Semitism doesn't become normal because everyone embraces it. It becomes normal when enough people are willing to look past it for an evening of entertainment or otherwise. This is about much more than one stadium and 2 performances. This is about each of us here and each of you watching out there. The future is constructed not only by what we condemn, but also by what we allow, what we excuse, and what we permit ourselves to become accustomed to. The question isn't whether a line was crossed by his words or his actions. The question is whether we, as a community, even still have a line at all. And it's time to draw the line. We all have the power to decide where that line is. I urge all of you to use that power.
So why does the line get drawn with Kanye West? Don't you find that this is just a little too much? It was like too much that it felt off to me. That's why I'm covering it, because it was so much. These people are doing so much that it's off to me. It doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel like these senators really fucking care about whether someone's a survivor. It doesn't seem like it's about that. It just seems too forced. They're just doing too much.
In front of you and join us in drawing that line here, now, and together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for allowing us to speak to all of you. Thank you for the importance that you bring with your support. So we thank you in every sense of the word. And let's go, and Kanye, tell him to...
Go away.
Yeah, did you see that? She forgot her lines. She didn't even make sense. Thank you for the importance that you bring with your support. So we thank you in every sense of the word. And let's go, Kanye. She forgot her lines.
Just to speak to all of you. Thank you for the importance that you bring with your support. So we thank you in every sense of the word. And let's go, and Kanye, tell him to...
Go away.
Let's go, and Kanye, tell him to...
Go away.
You got that, right?
Yeah, I'm not down with this. I'm not down with this. She's being used, in my opinion. I would say go with your gut on that. They know they're not genuine. They're going to try to shame their peers. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Nothing about this is funny. Look at how her grandson is looking at her like, don't screw up, don't screw up, don't screw up. Here, listen to this again.
Thank you so much for allowing us to speak to all of you. thank you for the importance that you bring with your support. So we thank you in every sense of the word. And let's go, and Kanye, tell him to... You got that, right? Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so the Tampa Bay Sports Authority has a choice. All right, over here we have the boxcar. In the boxcar, a lot of people watched what happened.
Look what they have on the wall. Oh my God! Wait, hold on.
In the boxcar.
Hold on.
So the Tampa Bay Sports Authority has a choice. All right, over here we have the boxcar.
Look at on the wall. They have images from the Holocaust on the wall.
In the boxcar, a lot of people watched what happened and said it wasn't important enough to show up and stop it. Over here, we've got people that will and put their lives on the line.
Oh my God, he's comparing Kanye's concert to one of the boxcars that people suffocated in.
To stand up for what's right. And they save people's lives. The Tampa Bay Sports Authority and all of us have the opportunity to be over here. And that's where we should be. So I want to thank everybody for being here today. We can answer any questions anybody has about this event. There's other stuff we can talk about separately, but if anybody has any question or if anybody else wants to add anything else.
I thought this was interesting.
Oh, you just do okay. Okay. All right, thanks everybody.
Not one question from the media. And people wonder why we want streamers covering things. Not one question from the media countering this. Not one. Listen again.
If anybody else wants to add anything else. Oh, you just do okay. Okay. All right, thanks everybody.
All right, we'll just do a gaggle. All right, we're done here. Not one question from the media. This is why we need independent journalism, because not one person asked a question. Crazy to me. I did not know how you guys were going to react to this, but I'm really surprised at how many of you don't like Kanye and you're like, this is way over the top. Hey, Higgins, it feels over the top, right? True crime and other stuff. Congratulations on your great grandson. But we're not done. We're not done. But that was, yeah, it was very propaganda feeling. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So we have a flashback. This is a 6-minute video. Sorry, you can probably hear the lawnmower. Let's see what you guys are saying. Lindsay says, I wonder if Rick Scott or that crispy governor had any hand in Epstein's sweetheart. Oh, that reminds me. We're not going to watch that yet. I got something that's going to blow your minds. Blow your minds. All right. Screw that. We're going to this. Okay. This right here is an interview.
Hey, you guys, we have another judge in hot water. This time we're over in Texas. And many of you, if you watch court on YouTube, might know Judge Stephanie Boyd.
Whoops. Okay, sorry. This is 2 Live Crew. Luther Campbell. You guys are going to shit, okay? Since they want to bring up Trump and all this bullshit, okay? This is 2 Live Crew, Luther Campbell doing an interview. The original air date is November 4th, 2016. Okay? November 4th, 2016. Luther Campbell is going to tell us about a Trump party he went to and why he left after only 45 minutes. This is the truth, you guys, about what the fuck has gone on with our great president.
Be around 90 something.
In the 90s.
When he first opened up the mansion in West Palm Beach.
So, Uncle Luke, tell us what happened. You went with Eddie Murphy and Mike Tyson. The three of you were together?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And Donald Trump invited...
No, this happened in the 90s, but this interview was in 2016, yes.
Did you all personally?
Yeah.
Trump, you were together? Luke, tell us what happened. You went with Eddie Murphy and Mike Tyson. The three of you were together?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And Donald Trump invited you all personally.
Yeah, he invited all us. He was having his pageant contest going on, and with his pageant contest, he ended up inviting us to the event.
Tell us what happened, Uncle Luke. What happened to that party that made you have to leave?
Well, I mean, it was just a lot of things going on. You know, a lot of things that I don't care to engage in, and you know, he showed us the house, showed us the golf course in the back, all these different things. You know, said, man, great house, nice house. And I think I probably was there for every bit of maybe 45 minutes before I realized all these different things that was going on. And I was like, okay, it's time for me to go here.
Now you understand, you are Uncle Luke, you 2 Live Crew. So, I mean, we're dying to know what was going on that you couldn't engage in.
Man, look here, it was, you know, it was just some things that I don't really care to discuss. Because I mean, you know, one thing about me, I don't kiss and tell. But at the same time, the party was going on, and you know, it was a lot of things. Put it this way, there were a lot of things going on, a lot of things. So a lot of things in a lot of different rooms. There was a lot of different rooms going on in the house. And every time you open up a door, there was something else going on that I really didn't care to be a part of. So I felt like, you know, hey, look here, man. You know, I'm from Liberty City. At the end of the day, if I wanted to be involved in all those different type of activities, I did that in my hometown. Less long as going to somebody's house where I think they got cameras and everything, be able to take.
He's like, yeah, I wasn't about to do this shit at somebody else's house where they got cameras. He's talking about Trump's Mar-a-Lago in the 90s. He was hosting a pageant contest.
Take me, and before you know it, you're extorting me. That ain't gonna happen. But listen, where I think they got cameras and everything, be able to take me, and before you know it, you're extorting me. That ain't gonna happen. But you know, one thing about me, I ain't never take no drugs, and I don't get into drugs. So I leave it like that.
Were there drugs there, Uncle Luke?
It was a lot of things up in there. I know I don't take no drugs. I'm gonna leave it like that.
Did you see Donald Trump use any drugs?
No, I didn't see him use no drugs.
So these rooms. So presumably there were women in these rooms.
Oh yeah, a lot of women.
Mm-hmm. How were they?
All over the room.
How were they dressed, Uncle Luke?
Half naked.
Half naked.
Half naked and some naked.
Half naked and some naked.
Yeah.
All right.
We had a house party. They up in there naked.
Was there any assaultive behavior toward women at this Donald Trump party?
No.
No assaultive behavior. Okay.
No, all the women were enjoying themselves like they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the thing, let me tell you, the thing is, when you're around, I've been around a lot of models and a lot of these pageant women, because that's what mostly it was. It was mostly pageant women. And a lot of these women ain't of age. So when you got a whole bunch of these women running around, whether they of age or not, you know, it's a lot of things going on. You just, you know, some women look too young.
Oh,
so you keep it moving.
I see.
You know, so it wasn't nobody beating no women, nobody taking advantage of no women. I mean, they were all enjoying themselves. That's what they were there for. But were they old enough to be enjoying themselves? I don't know.
Was there sex?
Of course there was.
I guess that's a stupid question now to ask. Okay, so I think I got you now. You're saying that all this was going on and you weren't clear as to whether these were adults.
I wasn't clear whether or not they were adults, and I wasn't clear whether or not, you know, whether I wanted to be in that kind of environment where some of these other things that was going on in there. I ain't gonna too much elaborate about everything else what was going on outside of the sexual act.
He don't even want to talk about it.
But
well, my brother, we love for you too. We love for you too. That's why we on Sirius XM. Because we can open it up. We on Sirius XM. We can bust it wide open right here.
The drugs and the alcohol and the sex and all that, but I ain't gonna talk about the drugs and the alcohol and the sex.
But now you did say that if you were on XM, you could talk about it. So that's why we here, man. I mean, people. Inquiring minds want to know.
I said I can use the profanity and all that there, and talk about naked people and all that. But then I ain't the drug part. I don't want to talk about that part of it. I talk about the sex and all that. All those.
Okay, well, talk about tell us about the sex.
Yeah, it was a lot of sex going on.
Mm-hmm. Just wide out in the open.
You know what I'm saying? Like you was just imagine the Eyes Wide Shut movie. That's what I felt like I was in. But
oh, hells no. Did you hear that, Lindsay? Oh, listen to that again.
Just wide out in the open.
You know what I'm saying? Like you was just imagine the Eyes Wide Shut movie. That's what I felt like I was in. But it had some other elements and some other things in there, then that's when I got to go.
Okay. So it was just wide out open sex is what was happening. Was it of the orgy variety?
Oh my God.
Well, they were in different rooms.
Mm-hmm.
The man got so many rooms in that house. I ain't never seen that many rooms in a house in my life. But it was more by everybody in all these different rooms. And when you open up a door, it was something going on different in a different room. So you got in where you fit in at. If you feel like you want to go in that room, you go in that room right there. There was some things going on. Some interesting things going in that room. It was just like a regular.
Well, you say you keep what? Give me an example of an interesting thing that was going on, if you don't mind.
Outside of the sex, you got to use your imagination. If it's sex, then it's some other things going on that you don't want to be involved in.
I mean, this is Luke of 2 Live Crew. That is like, no, man, I wasn't getting involved in that shit. Whew.
I don't know if my imagination goes that far. I don't. So if it wasn't sex,
oh no, you a big boy.
No, really, bro.
You in the radio business.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. Something was going on outside of sex and drugs that was interesting. Well, I'm trying to figure out.
Outside of sex.
Outside of sex.
Outside of sex. And then now you add whatever else you want to use your imagination. What happens? What happens after that? But there was a lot of things going on in there. Them guys in there, it was going down.
So was Donald Trump having?
It was one of the parties you would have enjoyed yourself being in.
Well, I don't know, brother. See, I probably would have been like you. I would have rolled out, but I don't know if I would enjoy myself. But now, what about Donald Trump? Was he having sex with all these women?
No, I didn't see him having no sex. Let me tell you, the man took us around the house. Okay, he said, "Look, I got all these women. I got these women from the pageant. They're gonna be there." So we went. It was like, "Hey, man, I got a pageant down here. I'm hosting these women at the house. Okay, up in Palm Beach. They send some cars to pick us up. We get in the cars. We drive up there. Me, Mike, Eddie Murphy. We all in our own individual cars. Car service drove us up there. We got there. He showed us around the house. Told us about this mansion and the history behind it and all that. Just the golf course. It was dark. We couldn't see the golf course and things like that. And then before you know it, hey, man, y'all enjoy yourself. We got cocktails and everything. And before you know it, the rooms and everything start popping. There wasn't no DJ.
Damn.
It was more of, hey, get in where you fit in. Whatever room you're going to go in, you go into that room.
So you say no DJ. There was no music? Or the music was piped in?
No, there wasn't no music.
No music.
That was the interesting part about it.
No music. Ugh. That's weird.
There wasn't no music.
So women just naked in rooms with no music.
Hey, people walk around. It wasn't. Listen, it wasn't nothing wrong with that. I was happy to be at that party, but then at the end of the day, when I started looking at some of these girls' faces, I was like, man, these girls don't look like they're old enough. I didn't ask nobody their age, and then all the other stuff going on. You know, it was like, okay, I can't be up here. I got to go. If I'm going to jail, then somebody's going to extort me. I really, you know, I don't do drugs. Never did it in my life. You know, I smoked marijuana 2 times, you know, when I was in high school, and I didn't like the experience. As far as drugs, I may have sold drugs. I never liked the people who I sold them to when I was young, because I thought they were stupid for buying it, so I never cared to indulge in it. So when I do see people doing it, if I'm around it, I get away from it. Put it that way.
Hey, you guys, we have another judge in hot water.
Okay. So that's a crazy thing. You've heard that before, Mary? I had never heard that. I was shell-shocked. Completely shell-shocked. I thought that was nutso. I do have one more for you guys. This is from Larry King. Let's see what year this is.
We turn now to the topic of political.
So this is 2 Live Crew's Luther Campbell joins Larry King on Politic King. And this would be 10 years ago. So he wrote a book, the Book of Luke, My Fight for Truth, Justice, and Liberty City. And this is in 2015.
Correctness and the fight to protect free speech in America. I'm joined by Luther Campbell, also known as Uncle Luke, musical entrepreneur, the former frontman and manager for the controversial rap group 2 Live Crew. His early hip-hop material took him to the height of fame, but it also brought him a lot of trouble with obscenity laws and some politicians, and eventually even led him to the steps of the U.S. Supreme Court. It's all documented in a terrific new memoir, The Book of Luke, My Fight for Truth, Justice, and Liberty City. You see its cover. The book is out now and available everywhere. What led you to write it, Luther?
Well, Larry, I thought it was time, you know, after 25 years of being in the music business, and nobody, you know, I've always said myself, I was like, I'm the Rodney Dangerfield of the music business, so, you know, nobody was going to give me any credit for anything, so I felt like it was time to do a book and do it myself.
It's been 25 years since your first arrest on charges of public obscenity for performing material from 2 Live Crews as nasty as they want to be. Now, scarcely a week goes by that someone in the public eye isn't embroiled in controversy for something they've said or tweeted or sung or written about. Have we come far or have we gone backwards?
Well, I think we've came a long way, you know, and when you mentioned the case of me going to the Supreme Court, you know, people are using that case right now for intellectual property cases. You know, I think we've, you know.
Case law.
Back then.
He created case law, honestly. And I don't think this dude gets the respect he's owed, to be honest. I think he's managed to stay on the straight and narrow. And it surprises me that he only has like 6 people in his live streams, because I personally love listening to him. It's actually really, he's funny, but he's also pretty smart.
It was shocking. Right now, it's not as shocking as it is right now. But then at the end of the day, we live in this new social media world, and it's
Look at Larry King. Look at his face. Oh my God, Larry King.
It's kind of, you know, if you say something on social media, it's gonna travel with you for the rest of your life.
How many times were you arrested for performing material?
Well, I was arrested in Hollywood, Florida, after the federal judge Gonzalez deemed my album obscene. I said, look, this is not American, you know, and I talk about it in the book. And I said, hey, look, I'm gonna go and perform right around the corner from the courthouse. Total of about maybe 4 times, you know, along with other record clerks going to jail for selling the records.
A U.S. district judge declared that material obscene, right?
Yes, federal judge Gonzalez, and thank God that we went and got that overturned on appeal, because if we didn't, then it would have been case law, and that case law would have still been on the books, and you probably wouldn't hear about rappers like Drake and NWA and all the other artists, because they would have been getting their records pulled off the shelf as well right now today.
Mm-hmm.
After that ruling, it was true record store owners and clerks were arrested for selling the album.
Yes, and I talk about it in the book. I mean, you have clerks in Florida. Police would go in and put them in jail. Same thing in San Antonio. We've heard of people getting put in jail all the way up into Birmingham, Alabama.
You write in the book that you think that your race had a lot to do with the obscenity charges. That you were a black man who was independent and wealthy, and you could speak on your own. You were a free black man, that nobody owned you, and you said you realized that drove the white conservatives crazy.
Bing bang.
Yeah, when as I was going through these different trials and tribulations and going to jail and being persecuted and told I was the worst thing since the Antichrist, what I looked at was the things that was in the public. You already had Playboy, you already had Penthouse, you already had Andrew Dice Clay and other types of material. You had, strip clubs and nightclubs and different things like that. So I was like, well, why are they messing with me, this little independently owned black entrepreneur? And then, as I talk about in the book, which I learned from my uncle and my dad, it was like, in this world today, when you own your own business, you're gonna have to go through so many different struggles, and this was one of the struggles that they had told me I was going to have to go through because I was independent, and so I knew what I was getting up against, owning my own company, and I was well prepared for it.
Is it true that most of the fans of Two Live Crew were white?
Oh, exactly. Most of the fans are white. And at that period of time, hip-hop was making this crossover appeal. You had Run DMC, and you had, Sugar Hill Gang, and then it became Two Live Crew. And so when, we started getting all these different fans, then Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife, came after us with her group, the
sure
PMRC,
did.
and they ended up putting us on some list with a bunch of other rap artists and rock and roll artists. And before you know it, we became public enemy number one.
Is there a Two Live Crew now?
Yes, there is. Two members, they perform as Two Live Crew around the country. And I've been solo for the last 23 years. And, lately I've done a couple of dates with them. I probably got one more date with them that I'm going to do. And that's about it. I perform on my own. I run my own record company. And, we've been doing good since then.
The parental advisory warning, a sticker for explicit lyrics, was your idea. Why?
Well, it was my idea because, originally when we started doing the adult versions of the record, it was never intended for kids to get the music. And when parents started complaining and started sending me letters saying kids are getting these adult-oriented records, then I said, okay, well, let me just figure out something. So I basically took the idea from the movie industry when they put a parental advisory sticker on kids under 17 or over 17 can either look at a movie. I just took that whole concept and ideal, and then I created the sticker, and that's something that I talk about in the book because, nobody ever gave me credit for that. Nobody ever gave me credit for creating hip-hop in the South, starting my own independent company.
Well, we need to give him the credit he deserves. I say we need to give him the credit for leaving the Trump party when he thought the girls looked too young. Not many people can say that. And for creating the infamous parental advisory sticker.
And then I created the sticker, and that's something that I talk about in the book because, nobody ever gave me credit for that. Nobody ever gave me credit for creating hip hop in the South, starting my own independent company and having artists on it. So, the book is a great read, and I think people learn a lot about Miami as well, in the book.
Most of your legal victories you won, right?
Oh, yeah, most of them. Only one I didn't win was the one against George Lucas, because at that time, those organizations that Tipper Gore was running, she would then send letters to different people that, any kind of way affiliated with me. And at that time, my name was Luke Skywalker. So obviously they sent a letter to George Lucas saying, why?
See that? He went by the name Luke Skywalker. So before Uncle Luke, he was Luke Skywalker. It was Luke Skywalker and the Two Live Crew. And Tipper Gore sent a letter to George Lucas, and they sued him, and he couldn't use it anymore. That's the only battle he lost. But it's the same shit that we're seeing with Kanye today. Different issue, same shit. What's up, Liz? Different issue, same shit.
At that time, my name was Luke Skywalker, so obviously they sent a letter to George Lucas saying, why are you allowing him to use that name? And so he eventually sued me, and I ended up paying him $500,000. And to this day, right now, I don't look at none of his films.
You said that while you were
and I don't blame you one bit.
Fighting against censorship, the championing rap as a legitimate music genre, that the industry, and in particular the rap and hip-hop community, didn't publicly support you. Why?
Yeah.
Why not?
They didn't support me for a combination of a couple of reasons. One, back then, it was a territorial thing. New York artists just felt like nobody else from outside of New York should be even thinking about rapping. So those guys didn't support us. They would go on television shows saying that this is not considered hip hop. And, guys in the industry, because I wasn't affiliated with a major record company, and I talk about in the book, I manufactured these records myself, and put them out myself, out of the trunk of my car. So not being affiliated with any major record label who had all these different artists on it, and on top of it, artists that were so territorial, they didn't support what we were doing. And it was some rough times. Even doing shows with those guys were rough. And we talk about it in the book, and I think, like I say, people are so amazed as to what they're reading right now because they didn't know things existed like that at that time.
You've been called Rap's Larry Flynt. I know Larry very well, and I recently interviewed him here on this show. He said the First Amendment is only important if something is offensive. If it's not offensive, you don't need a law to protect it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I mean, one thing, when going through all these cases with my lawyer, Bruce Rogo, I learned a lot. And I learned about the Miller test and, the test that defines whether anything should be deemed obscene or whatever is offensive, in the public eye. And when you use that three-pronged test, it clearly explains that, if this is offensive, then it's offensive to others. And these are things that shouldn't be in the public eye. But, talking about sex is not really, in my opinion, offensive. If anybody's offended by that, then they need to check and see how they even got on this earth.
You also have to protect, though, the right of the Ku Klux Klan to speak.
Yeah, they have free speech. And I've always said this, whether or not I agree with some of the lyrics of some of the artists, some of the lyrics of some of the other members of the 2 Live Crew, I defended their right. I wrote my own part of the music, and the things that I wrote, I hold myself accountable for the things that I wrote. But, we live in a free country. And unless we want to be a communist country, like some of the other countries that we talk about on a consistent basis on the daily news, then we need to just, freedom for all and to each his own.
You said you think that Donald...
Which actually stands for what we talked about with Kanye, right?
Trump's popularity in the primary so far is due in part to his speaking his mind out.
Yes. I said that in an interview the other day, and I think, people right now today are just...
This is a year before he did the interview where he talked about going to Trump's party. And Trump's hands.
Fed up with regular politicians. They just want somebody who's going to speak their mind. And also, the masses amount of people, they want people who are not owned by special interest groups, because when I talk to politicians every day, when I'm advocating on things that affect the community, a lot of these guys have the right ideal, but if they're owned by some conglomerate or some special interest group, then they can't speak on those things. And with Trump being a guy that owns himself, and he doesn't have to worry about, a donor, then he can speak his mind, and I think people are gravitating to that.
What do you think of your fellow Floridians, Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio, and how well or not well they're doing?
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, when you see a guy like Trump in the race and he's able to speak and say what he wants to say when he wants to say it, and these guys have to be politically correct, I think it's to a disadvantage. Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio, they're okay guys, but again, they can't say what they really want to say and do what they really want to do, and I don't think they're gonna end up doing well because because of that, because they have a guy in the race that is he's shooting with every gun he has, and those guys can't shoot with a gun.
At times, though, you've been critical of the Democratic Party as well, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I always look at the Democratic Party as a party that, supposed to be for African Americans and people who are underserved. And I just, I don't get it when I look at the politics and I look at gubernatorial races. I don't see the Democratic Party supporting any gubernatorial races. I don't see the Democratic Party even supporting a candidate to get into the United States Senate. And in Congress, the Democratic Party, those folks are from the municipalities in which they live in. So that's a no-brainer. Those African Americans are going to get into those seats as well as the Latinos. So I basically don't really see what the Democratic Party is doing for African Americans, Latinos, and poor white people.
Truth.
That's why I keep telling people we need to do like the Tea Parties and start our own party, the Hip Hop Party.
Is there
we'll let you...
See, he knows. He knows. Neither party looks out. Neither.
Be the chairman, Larry.
Is there any candidate you're supporting?
Right now, I'm just so up in the air right now. You know, as to who I want to support, I'm gonna just let it all play out, and at the end, when the last two are standing, then I'll make a decision as to who I want to support. But you know, that I'm telling you, Trump is more affiliated with hip hop artists than people know. If you go back and have your guys do the research, you'll see Trump appeared on maybe 3 or 4 records, as well as rappers rapping about him. So that's a card that he hasn't pulled out yet, and I'm just telling you, he's going to eventually pull that card out.
Hey, Luke, it sounds like you're leaning toward.
Yep, and that was the damn truth, wasn't it? All the rappers that rapped about Trump. Crazy. It's crazy looking back.
Supporting him.
Hey, Larry, I really want to support you. I don't know why you haven't ran yet.
You write a column.
Guy. You're a Miami guy and everything. I want to support you.
You write a column for the Miami New Times. In one of the recent pieces you wrote, the stop snitching culture must end before Black Lives Matter protests can win. What do you mean?
Well, what I mean by that, I love what the young people at Black Lives Matter is all about. But at the same time, if you really are all about Black lives and not just Black Lives Matter when it becomes a white police officer killing an innocent black person, you know, we have more black on black murders than anything. I want to see these people get involved in that. You know, I want to see them
lift
Black
those
Lives
people
Matter,
up.
even when it's another African American killing another African American. I want to see Black Lives Matter get involved in taking away this word, stop snitching. You know, because that is, you know, what's holding this community back. Our community, whether it's here in Miami, where we have tons of murders between black on black crimes, or whether it's in Chicago, Detroit, or New York. I want to see if Black lives does matter, it should matter for all different situations, and not just when a white police officer kills a black person.
Luther, thank you so much. Great having you with us.
Thank you, Larry.
Interesting, right? Interesting stuff. I really appreciate those of you that came in and for this topic today. I think it's very important. It's not a fun topic necessarily, but it's an important topic. And I think the comparisons are crazy. I did have another video. Let's see. I did get your email, Beans. I was going to show you guys this article, but it's behind a paywall. But it's about the Miami Beach nightclub condemned for playing Ye's song Hail Hitler. The club, Vendome, was hosting several right-wing influencers, including Andrew and Tristan Tate. Who gives a fuck what they think? But I guess they were mad because they played that song in the club. Go back and watch a Kanye West interview with Tucker Carlson. That's the first video I saw of yours, Jay. Yep, we did cover Kanye back in the day. No, I appreciate you guys being here and caring about this topic. Beans sent me this. She wants me to play this. So let's watch what Beans sent. I appreciate it too, Lindsay. Make it. Kanye did not make it. Wow. Beans, you tricked me. I totally thought Kanye would be on the board. Beans, you tricked me. You totally tricked me. I thought for sure he was going to be like number 1. You are so funny. The BC Boys, yes. Bone Thugs and Harmony. It's totally rigged. I don't like Jay-Z, though. None of his music. Ugh. Beans, you are so funny. I know he wasn't even on there. I was like, Beans, you pulled a fast one on me. So while I was checking my email, I got an email saying that there's some shit talking going on about me. You named all of them except Dr. Dre. The Dixie Chicks, I forgot about them getting ousted. I forgot about that. I hated them, but I forgot about that whole thing. They talked about Bush, right? I remember when that happened. Donda, I do agree with you on the Tucker Carlson Kanye interview. I don't have time to pull it up today, but I did review it, and I'm going to find the link if you guys want to watch it, because it was very, he predicted a lot of things that happened from 2022. So I'm going to give you the link to that. The other interview that's good with Kanye is with, actually, we can watch this clip. Three years ago. Okay, hold on. We'll watch this. This is shorter. Actually, this is not it. That's from Fox News. He wasn't with Fox News when he interviewed him, was he? Wasn't that on his own channel? Or it was on Fox News. Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. Kanye West, Tucker. I forgot this was before Tucker left Fox News. The full interview is an hour, but let's watch the biggest moments.
Why I wrote White Lives Matter on a shirt is because they do. It's the obvious thing.
Yeah. We're breaking down all the major bombshells. The 40 Tucker Carlson tonight. Ex-wife Kim Kardashian by a during
you brought out
on October 3rd.
So you made reference to the White Lives Matter T-shirt you brought out at Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Why did you do that, and what did it mean?
You know, I do certain things from a feeling. I just channel the energy. It just feels right. It's using a gut instinct, a connection with God, and just brilliance. So the answer to why I wrote White Lives Matter on a shirt is because they do. It's the obvious thing.
Yeah.
Later in the interview, Kanye expands on his relationship with the media, even claiming that he was made out to be, quote, stalking his ex Kim for purchasing a home next door.
Because, you know, the media ridiculed me for getting the house next door to Kim to see my children. And they even said that I was stalking her and her new boyfriend because I bought the house next door to see my children.
Additionally, Kanye explains that he believes people like Kris Jenner's boyfriend, Corey Gamble, and Vogue editor Gabriella Carifa Johnson were, quote, made in a laboratory.
There's so many things that are put in Kim's head. You know, they bring influencers. Like, no one ever knew where Corey Gamble came from. No one in the fashion world knows where Gabby came from. These people were practically made in a laboratory, in my opinion. And one of the things that
he's speaking truth, guys. I mean,
really good at doing is being nice and being likable. And what they do is, for people that have some form of influence, whether it's an educated black woman like my mother that became the head of the English department at Chicago State University, or whether it's the most influential white woman on the planet being my ex-wife, they have people that are around them at all times telling them what to be afraid of. It's like not what to do or say specifically, it's what to be afraid of.
I think he was battling untreated bipolar at this point. But no one wants to talk about that.
I've rarely heard a man speak so honestly and so movingly about what he believes. But again, you can judge for yourself. Here it is. So you just came from Paris Fashion Week. You just landed, and the lanyard's still on from it, and there's a photograph on it. What is that?
It's a photograph of a baby's ultrasound.
Why is that? And that you designed that?
Yes.
Why? What does that mean?
It just represents life. I'm pro-life.
Boy, so you wear it on a badge. What kind of response do you get? And amen, I agree.
I don't care about people's responses. I care about the fact that there's more black babies being aborted than born in New York City at this point. That 50% of black death in America is abortion. So I really don't care about people's responses. I perform for an audience of one, and that's God.
I'm starting to see why they want to make you be quiet. When did you start to feel this way? When did you start to realize this?
I really felt like, I think I started to really feel this need to express myself on another level when Trump was running for office, and I liked him. Yes. And every single person in Hollywood, from my ex-wife to my mother-in-law to my manager at that time to, you know, my so-called friends / handlers around me, told me, like, if I said that I like Trump, that my career would be over, that my life would be over. They said stuff like people get killed for wearing a hat like that. They threatened my life. They put my life. They basically.
Damn, dude.
Said that I would be killed for wearing the hat. I had someone call me last night and said anybody wearing a White Lives Matter shirt is going to be greenlit, and that means that they're going to beat them up if they wear it. And I'm like, you know, okay, green light me then. They're going to beat them up if they wear it. And I'm like, you know, okay, green light me then.
I got this from what's his name? The British guy, Pierce. What's his name?
Oh my God. God forbid one comment.
Still have that on my soundboard.
You know, God builds warriors in a different way. I don't know if it's because of me being born in Atlanta and growing up on the south side of Chicago that, you know, he made me for such a time like this. It's like with David.
Pierce Morgan,
you know, he tended to the sheep, but while he was out there, he had to fight all kinds of animals. So when it was time for Goliath to come, he thought because he was a sheep herder that he didn't have the skill set to take down Goliath.
That was a good interview.
And the thing
too.
that I have is the position, I have my heart, but the number one thing is we have God on our side. And for the people, even if you don't believe in God, God believes in you.
So you made reference to the White Lives Matter T-shirt, which you brought out at Paris Fashion Week. Yeah. Why did you do that, and what did it mean?
You know, stay humble.
I do certain things from a feeling. I just channel the energy. It just feels right. It's using a gut instinct, a connection with God, and just brilliance. You know, like as if you ask like Tanya Harding how she did the triple flip or the triple spin. Yeah. She was in so much practice that when it was time for her to skate in a competitive format, it just happened. Like it happened outside of practice. It happened in the real format. And that's what's happening. Is God is like preparing us for the real battles.
He's sped up to 1.25 too, so he's not like as hyper as he sounds.
We are in a battle with the media. Like the majority of the media has a godless agenda, and the jokes in that work and this whole like, oh yeah, he's crazy and all these things, they don't work because the media has, you know, they've also watched travesties happen, just even specifically to me, and just watch it and act like it wasn't happening. And they stay quiet about it.
What if they?
I want to answer the white. Yeah. I feel like someone caught what I was saying, the comparison to Tanya Harding about the White Lives Matter. You know, my dad is an educated ex-Black Panther, and he put a text to me today. He said, "White Lives Matter, ha 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 ha." And I said, I thought the shirt was a funny shirt. I thought the idea of me wearing it was funny. And I said, Dad, what do you think was funny? He said, just a black man stating the obvious. Yeah. And, you know.
And everybody was so offended by a White Lives Matter shirt. Like, and it's the same for him using other forms of symbolism. It's all symbolism. It doesn't mean equal hate.
My dad doesn't listen to rap music, and he's like super educated. We opened up a water distribution center in the Dominican Republic together. He's like the original Steve Jobs, but he was getting blocked every which way with all of his ideas, and he didn't have an endless bank account, and he didn't have an Instagram. So all these ideas, he had to like take them back and compress them. Like my dad is the most brilliant person that I know, and we actually have a strained relationship because I was taken from him because my mom was an actress, so she was a liberal. And my dad would see certain things and say, you know, we should do it this way, we should do it that way. And the people got around my mom and pulled her away, much like, you know, Kim is a Christian, but she has people who want her to go to Interview Magazine and put her ass out while she's a 40-something-year-old multi-billionaire with 4 black children. And this is how fashion wants to, how they want to present her. So I know you give these questions, and I give you like these 3-part answers. Is this a cool format for you?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, cool.
And I am following it.
All right.
So you said that your father said when he saw the shirt "White Lives Matter," it's great to see a black man stating the obvious. So, by which I think you meant that's obviously true.
Yeah, that's my favorite response, because I kept on thinking, like, people, they're looking for an explanation, and people say, well, as an artist, you don't.
Oh my gosh, Tracy, thank you so much for your Cash App. That is so nice of you. Thank you so much. I'm glad I checked this while I was live. Thank you so much.
Have to give an explanation, but as a leader, you do.
Yes, I think that's right.
So the answer to why I wrote "White Lives Matter" on the shirt is because they do. It's the obvious thing.
Yeah. Why do you think that's so? And I assume the implication is, of course, all lives matter because they're lives, because God created them.
Yeah.
Why do you think that would be considered controversial?
Because the same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black and the vernacular that we're supposed to have. My dad grew up as a military brat, and his family moved around, but they were based mostly in Delaware. And at the time, if they weren't the only black family, they were one of the few. And he would be discriminated against because he was black. So by the time he got into college,
thank you, White Lotus,
he would be discriminated against. He went to a black college. He would be discriminated against because they said he talked too white.
Yes.
And then he played the kick drum in the band. So when he would go to the club and the music was playing, where would he clap his hands? Where the kick drum is.
Yeah.
It was the opposite of where everyone else was clapping their hands. And this is the most elegant and tasteful person that I know. And when my mom, when the school suggested, like, the herding systems, because what they do is take the black community and they separate us, and they separate the families, and the educated, they push this, need for higher education, and us as blacks, we discriminate against each other and say, well, I got my PhD and you don't have a PhD, so I'm better than you. And so my mom, she had a PhD, and she was influenced to move to the south side of Chicago and take this job at Chicago State University. And she told my dad, if you come for us, you'll never see him again. Because, the media ridiculed me for getting the house next door to Kim to see my children. And they even said that I was stalking her and her new boyfriend because I bought the house next door to see my children. And that's how I knew that my mom had said that to him. I said, Dad, they moved us to one of the most agreed upon to be one of the most dangerous places in the world. It's almost like they tried to kill me or something. I said, Dad, why'd you never come to get us? And that's when he told me that she was told that. There's so many things that are put in Kim's head. They bring influencers. Like, no one ever knew where Corey Gamble came from. No one in the fashion world knows where Gabby came from. These people were practically made in a laboratory, in my opinion. And one of the things that they're really good at doing is being nice and being likable. And what they do is, for people that have some form of influence, whether it's an educated black woman like my mother that became the head of the English department at Chicago State University, or whether it's the most influential
I love that, AJ.
White woman on the planet, being my ex-wife, they have people that are around them at all times telling them what to be afraid of. It's like not what to do or say specifically, it's what to be afraid of. And if you have a person that isn't afraid of them,
Bye, Pines.
like a Russell Brand or Candace Owens. Right. It's not that we have to agree with this, but
well, that's where that ends. I got one more clip to play, and then I am out of here for today. This is for Lindsay.
And what he said is, you are a celebrity. So basically what's going to happen is there's product here. And this is where you end up, right here. If you can communicate this product, you can make money off the product. Because look at Gaga. She's the creative director of Polaroid. I like some of the Gaga songs. What the fuck does she know about cameras?
I've never heard that before. What the fuck? Oh my God. She just turned 13 yesterday. Yeah, I never heard anything about her being pregnant. It's probably a rumor. What was that all about, Lindsay? I've never seen that before. Oh, my goodness. Wait, Outer Banks is your troll account? I didn't know you had a troll account, White Lotus. When did you start trolling? When did you start trolling? You guys are crazy. Thank you for joining me today, though. I really do appreciate it. You guys could have been anywhere else, but let's see the result of our poll. Should Kanye be able to perform? Yes, 60%. Unsure, 21%. No, says 19%. Wow, 19% of you say no, he should be banned. I don't think he's... You troll Buzzy. Oh. As Outer Banks. But anyways, yeah, so thank you for joining me. I thought it was an interesting topic. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're on the replay, hit the like button. I'll definitely chapter this for replay purposes. And I really appreciate you guys. I love covering things that interest me, not just what's popular. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I have some like-minded folks that like to cover those things as well. So on that note, I'm going to skate on out of here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. We have the Gonsalves coming on at 7:30 tomorrow evening, Eastern time. I might be on Every Day with Jay later. But thank you guys again. You really are the real deal. You got to... See you, Penny. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Marcy. Thank you, Leo, Angie, Pines. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one tomorrow night. Should be a good one. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further? Bring it all in. And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click. It's real easy, man.